Top 8 Daily Foods That Worsen Fatty Liver. Our daily food choices directly impact our health, and one of the organs most affected by this routine is the liver. Many people, especially those with diabetes, obesity, or high blood pressure, live with fatty liver disease without realizing it, since it often shows no clear symptoms until it reaches more severe stages. Today, let's understand how your diet can either be an ally or an enemy to your liver health, and more importantly, how to avoid this silent and common problem. The liver is one of the most essential organs for our health, but it's also vulnerable. Many common foods we eat without thinking contribute to the buildup of fat in the liver, increasing the risk of developing more serious liver issues, such as fatty liver or even cirrhosis. That's why knowing which foods negatively impact your liver is crucial for maintaining good health. In this video, we'll explore the 8 worst foods for fatty liver and offer safe and healthy alternatives to replace them. Are you eating any of these foods on a daily basis? Let's start with processed meat, like bacon and sausage. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, and hot dogs are popular in many meals, but they come at a high cost to the liver. These foods are loaded with high levels of saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives, which overload the body. While convenient and tasty, these meats have harmful effects when consumed regularly. The liver is responsible for processing fats and toxins in our body, but processed meats make the organ work even harder. Saturated fats build up in liver cells, increasing the risk of inflammation and the development of fatty liver disease. Plus, the excess sodium disrupts the body's fluid balance, making it harder for the liver to function properly. When processed meats are consumed frequently, the liver becomes overloaded from constantly processing fats and toxins. This ongoing consumption weakens the organ's regenerative ability, promoting the development of fatty liver disease and, eventually, more severe liver conditions. Those who already have health issues like high blood pressure or obesity need to be even more cautious, as these foods increase the risks. Choosing leaner, less processed proteins helps protect liver health. Opt for fresh meats like chicken breast or fish, which are easier to digest and provide nutrients without the excess sodium and saturated fats. Another tip is to include plant-based protein sources, such as beans and lentils, which help protect the liver while adding flavor and variety to meals. 2. White bread and refined flour foods. White bread, pasta, and products made with refined flour are common in daily meals. However, these foods, which are rich in rapidly absorbed carbohydrates, pose risks when consumed in excess because they quickly raise blood sugar levels. This glucose overload, especially in people predisposed to metabolic issues like insulin resistance, increases the likelihood of fat accumulation in the liver, making the organ more vulnerable to inflammation and impairing its basic functions. When the liver is constantly exposed to a diet rich in refined carbohydrates, it has to convert the excess glucose into fat. This fat, when it accumulates in liver cells, impairs liver function, leading to a condition known as fatty liver. Additionally, this process can trigger an inflammatory state that damages liver tissue and negatively affects the metabolism of fats and sugars, further promoting fat buildup. The long-term impact of this daily consumption becomes more serious, as chronic inflammation and accumulated fat can progress into liver diseases like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. To reduce these risks and keep the liver healthy, it's recommended to replace refined foods with whole grain options, which are high in fiber and have a slower absorption rate. Whole grain bread, oats, quinoa, and brown rice are great alternatives, as they help stabilize blood sugar levels and support liver metabolism. Furthermore, these foods provide longer-lasting satiety, promoting gradual and smooth digestion, which benefits both the liver and the overall balance of the body. 3. Sugar and sugary beverages. Sugar is one of the most common ingredients in our diet, found in processed foods, drinks, and desserts. However, frequent and large amounts of sugar consumption, especially in sugary drinks like sodas, energy drinks, and artificial juices, can pose a serious risk to liver health. The sweet, appealing taste of these products often leads to excessive consumption, putting the body at risk for long-term impacts. When we consume too much sugar, the liver, which is responsible for metabolizing glucose, becomes overloaded and starts converting the excess sugar into fat. This fat is then stored in liver cells, creating a condition known as fatty liver. Additionally, excess sugar can trigger inflammation in the liver, making it harder for the organ to function properly. This persistent fat buildup contributes to the development of more serious diseases, like non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Regularly consuming sugary drinks further intensifies fat buildup and inflammation in the liver, increasing the risk of the problem progressing from a silent stage to a severe condition. Drinks like sodas and processed juices are quickly absorbed by the body, causing a spike in blood glucose and overloading the liver. This constant overload puts the liver in a dangerous cycle, where it is constantly forced to convert sugar into fat. To protect the liver, it's essential to reduce sugar intake and look for healthier substitutes. Replace sodas and artificial juices with water, sparkling water, unsweetened tea, or fruit-infused water, which provide flavor without harming the liver. Another option is to opt for natural juices without added sugar and limit their consumption to moderate amounts. Small changes like these help relieve the liver and promote a healthier routine for the body as a whole. 4. Fried foods and fast food. Fried foods and fast food are tempting because of their convenience and taste, but they pose a hidden risk to the liver. These foods are loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, making them difficult for the body to digest and process. The problem worsens for those who make these options a regular part of their diet, causing increased liver damage over time. When consuming fried foods and processed meals, the liver has to deal with an extra load of harmful fats, which tend to accumulate in liver cells. This type of fat is highly inflammatory and, over time, can reduce the liver's ability to perform its functions properly, as well as promote insulin resistance, worsening the fatty liver condition. Regularly consuming fast food forces the liver to work overtime to metabolize the toxins and fats ingested. This constant effort leads to an increasing buildup of fat in liver cells, which can result in chronic inflammation. For those with risk factors, this overload raises the possibility of progressing to more serious diseases, such as cirrhosis and liver fibrosis. For those aiming for a liver-friendly diet, baking or grilling foods is an excellent choice, as it preserves flavor without the excess harmful fats. Homemade preparations like baked rustic potatoes or oven-baked burgers are also practical and healthy options. These alternatives add variety and flavor to the diet, allowing for more consistent care of liver health. 5. Margarine and hydrogenated oils. Margarine and hydrogenated oils are widely used in cooking and processed products because they are cheap and have a longer shelf life, but they pose a silent danger to liver health. These products contain high levels of trans fats, which are known to trigger inflammation in the body. Unlike natural fats, which the body can metabolize efficiently, trans fats are artificially processed, making it difficult for the liver to break them down. Over time, the constant consumption of these oils leads to fat buildup in the liver and increases the risk of inflammatory liver diseases. The liver, while trying to metabolize these artificial fats, is forced to work harder to eliminate the toxic waste resulting from the process. This constant effort can trigger an inflammatory response in liver tissue, impairing the organ's function and making it harder to metabolize other essential substances. Additionally, the accumulation of trans fats in liver cells causes insulin resistance, a condition that interferes with the liver's ability to regulate blood sugar and fat metabolism. Over time, these changes can progress into more serious issues, such as fatty liver disease and even cirrhosis. To reduce these impacts, it's recommended to replace margarine and hydrogenated oils with healthier, natural fats like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. These natural oils are less processed and contain fats that the body can metabolize more efficiently, easing the load on the liver. Opting for these alternatives benefits not only the liver but also cardiovascular health, promoting a more balanced and safer diet. 6. Ice cream and processed sweets. Ice cream, stuffed cookies, and other processed sweets are a part of many people's daily lives, but their consumption can be harmful to the liver. These foods are often high in refined sugars and trans fats, which in excess make the liver's job harder and promote fat accumulation in liver cells. Additionally, many of these sweets contain additives and preservatives that the liver has to metabolize, further increasing the burden on the organ and raising the risk of inflammation. The liver is responsible for processing the sugars we consume, but when we regularly eat processed sweets, the body receives far more glucose than it needs. This excess glucose is converted into fat and stored in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease. The presence of trans fats in these foods further worsens the situation, as these fats are hard for the body to metabolize and trigger inflammatory processes in liver tissue. Over time, the accumulation of fat and inflammation can lead to liver dysfunction and more serious diseases. To protect the liver, the key is to reduce the intake of these sweets and opt for natural, less processed alternatives. Fresh fruits, plain yogurt with honey or fruit, and homemade desserts with low sugar content are healthier options that satisfy the sweet craving without overloading the liver. These alternatives not only preserve liver health, but also provide nutrients that benefit the body, promoting a balanced and safe diet. 7. Foods high in salt. Salty foods like potato chips, snacks, and processed meats are popular for their flavor, but excessive sodium intake can cause serious harm to the liver. Too much salt in the diet leads to fluid retention and high blood pressure, both of which affect liver function. For the liver, which already processes many toxins daily, this added burden impairs metabolism and reduces its ability to efficiently eliminate waste from the body. When we consume very salty foods frequently, the body retains more fluid to balance the excess sodium. This process overloads the liver, which must deal with the accumulation of toxins in an inflammatory environment. Additionally, high salt intake directly impacts the kidneys, which further overloads the liver, especially in individuals who already have conditions like high blood pressure and fatty liver. Over time, this overload can contribute to the development of chronic liver diseases and increase the risk of cardiovascular complications. To keep the liver healthy, it is recommended to reduce the intake of foods high in sodium and opt for natural seasonings, like herbs and spices, which enhance flavor without harming health. Fresh foods, such as fruits, vegetables, and lean meats, are more nutritious and less aggressive on the liver. These choices not only preserve the body's balance, but also help protect liver function and reduce the risks associated with excessive salt consumption. 8. Alcohol. Alcohol consumption is widely accepted socially, and many adults include it in their leisure routines. However, even in small amounts, alcohol requires a lot of work from the liver, which is responsible for metabolizing the substance and removing toxins from the body. Regular, even moderate, consumption can have harmful effects on the liver, especially in people with risk factors for fatty liver disease. When alcohol is consumed, the liver must convert it into substances that can be eliminated. This process not only overloads the liver, but also leads to fat buildup in liver cells. Over time, this extra fat can cause inflammation and damage liver tissue, increasing the risk of developing a condition known as alcoholic fatty liver, which can progress into severe problems like cirrhosis. People who consume alcohol regularly are at risk of further compromising liver function. The liver, unable to efficiently metabolize alcohol over the long term, begins to accumulate cellular damage, which can lead to chronic inflammation and scarring. For those who already have some form of liver dysfunction, frequent alcohol consumption worsens symptoms and accelerates the progression to irreversible liver diseases, such as liver fibrosis and cirrhosis. To protect the liver, limiting or avoiding alcohol consumption is one of the best choices. Replacing alcoholic drinks with lighter alternatives, such as sparkling water, unsweetened teas, or mocktails, non-alcoholic cocktails, is a way to maintain social interaction without compromising health. These options are refreshing, enjoyable, and allow for a positive social experience, all while preserving liver health and long-term well-being. Worrying signs and symptoms of fatty liver. Fatty liver is a condition that often develops quietly, but there are some signs that something might be wrong. Constant fatigue, abdominal discomfort, and a feeling of bloating are common symptoms and can appear even in the early stages. These symptoms are usually mild and can go unnoticed or be attributed to other health issues, making early diagnosis a challenge. In addition to fatigue and discomfort, other symptoms include mental confusion or a lack of mental clarity, which indicates that the liver is overloaded and unable to efficiently eliminate toxins. Since the liver is involved in many metabolic processes, any disruption in its function can affect the body broadly, including both mental and physical well-being. These symptoms are red flags and should not be ignored, especially in people with risk factors, such as obesity or diabetes. Ignoring these symptoms can allow the condition to progress to more severe stages, such as steatohepatitis or even cirrhosis, diseases that can seriously compromise liver health. For many people, noticing these symptoms and seeking medical advice in time can make a big difference in how the condition evolves. Early diagnosis allows for lifestyle changes and treatment before the liver suffers irreversible damage. For those who regularly consume foods that overload the liver, having regular checkups is essential. Blood tests and liver ultrasounds help monitor liver function and can detect fat buildup and signs of inflammation before the situation worsens. Regularly consulting a healthcare professional and keeping track of these indicators is a preventive measure that allows you to adopt strategies to protect the liver in the long term. Now that you know the impact certain foods can have on your liver, it's time to take action. And to keep learning about liver care, be sure to check out our video on the 6 best types of rice for those with fatty liver disease. Click on the video appearing on your screen. Small changes can make a big difference. Don't wait until it's too late.